Good morning. Look at us all live and shit on a Monday morning. And we all have to admit it's hard to get our rears in gear on Mondays. It is tough for sure. I'm telling you. I don't know what DT Driver's doing. He's trying to send me something right now, and he knows we're live and shit. Can someone get my husband's attention and tell him to get his ass into chat? Good morning, Jam 420. Baby kisses. What's up? Kylie. Good morning. True Crime Beat. Back from vacation. True Crime Beat took a couple days off for her birthday. How was your birthday, True Crime Beat? We did not have a show on Friday, so we didn't get to tell you happy birthday. DT Driver said everyone wants to see your bush, Brooks. It's not that type of show, Greg. Okay? I have enough issues with YouTube than to go around showing that. My goodness. Let's take a minute and tell True Crime Beat happy birthday. Be worrying about my bush. Happy birthday, my dear friend, True Crime Beat. Now, so glad. Look at this. Chicken Lady, haven't seen you in a long time. Glad you're back. Woo! Who is ready for the heat? I saw in the St. Louis area, it's going to be pushing 90 by May 1st. It's going to be 85 here today. Gonna have to get the pool going. DT Driver is so excited about him planting in the front yard. He has no idea what he's in for soon. Just Me said she's ready for it. She's ready to rock and roll. Karma Libra, I saw in Lawton, Oklahoma, they were telling people to get off the streets. They were so flooded. So flooded. And I was like, wow. 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 That was horrible, because when it floods, it floods. Let's take a minute to tell everybody good morning. Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome, new friends. And shake your neighbor's hand. Real Rockin' Robin said she's taken her pool down. How come, girlfriend? I have to have a pool in the summer. I just do. Now, don't get me wrong. I love, the technology of air conditioning. I do. But I don't want to sit in it for too long. I like to be outside. I was just telling our friend Diana this morning on the phone. Well, she's on the show too. That I would rather mow a lawn than vacuum. I'm just not an indoors person. It just doesn't fit me right. Oh, Jam said their local pool lets kids swim for free. That is really nice. Kylie said, I love my pool. Tell you what, I might have to put a post up saying, show me your pools. You wouldn't want to see mine. Woo, you don't want to see it right now. It's all green, got damn leaves in it and shit, tadpoles and everything. Looks like some sort of project from Jurassic Dam Park. The old DT Driver doesn't know. We got some stuff to do this weekend. B. Oakley said, show me your pool. After I show you my bush, I'll show you the pool. Jam knows what I'm talking about. She said, my pool is a tragedy right now. Kat, this is what I want to see. I want to see the pool in Greece. Because I actually saw this thing. I think it was on the History Channel, Kat. They have this pool and it looks like it goes over like the edge of the world. It's like a never ending pool. Is that in your backyard, Kat, or where you stay? I've always been curious. V. Oakley said the pool is in the middle of the bush. Telling you what, this bush is getting a lot of attention today. It didn't get no attention this weekend. Infinity pool. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Pat. Well, let's go ahead and look at your comments from last week, because y'all had a lot to say about our show regarding Marlena being a nasty ass to Prayer Garden. Brenda said, oh, Marlena most definitely did ask Prayer Garden to put up her Cash App. And when it wasn't up, Marlena told PG to make her mods put it up. She's lying. Yeah. No point in backpedaling when you said it publicly, Marlena. Okay? I'm sure you got a few whoppers out of this. Lindsay said it's all about drugs and lifestyles with these people. Most of those people don't have a problem with whoever watched their kids. Anything and everything can happen. We're going to talk about that, because I still don't understand how anybody would let their children stay with Don and Candace. I'm sure we all, in our life, maybe right now, maybe before, we've had some unsavory friends, those friends that, you invite to the birthday party because it's going to be a blast when they show up. All right. Don and Candace, Don and Candace are not, I wouldn't want them at the party. Oh, Lisa A said, oh, Marlena was on there ordering the mods to put her Cash App up. Yeah, I don't know why she's backtracking now. Maybe she doesn't remember. I don't know. Leah said some interesting things Marlena has said. She said, when Summer went missing and everything got turned on me, I took me and my daughter out of the situation and we kind of went off on our own. And I didn't talk to Summer. I didn't talk to Summer's mom or her daddy at all. But we know she did. We know she did. But hey, that's okay. That is okay. So today we're going to be talking about Hunter. Why was he so vague? Why did he scoot around actual questions that were being asked? Why did he pretend to not know what Chris McDonough was talking about? And I've been thinking, which is a dangerous thing, long and hard about this. Don't take that out of context. When I say long and hard, I mean my brain, not DT Driver. But I have been thinking about it. What was he hiding and why? Why? Exactly, Real Rockin' Robin, when he was asked about the milk. It's almost like he wanted to have an answer for every question. And if he didn't have the answer, it's almost like he made it up. Because I still don't believe the milk was from that day. I do believe it was months before. The only reason is because Pruitt told Ansley Daniel that the last video they have of Summer was from Warriors Park on June 15th. Here's another thing. Doxy Mom said, why did he change his story? We got Burger King again. I'm surprised the Dollar General wasn't thrown in there. He said they went to Burger King that day. Well, you went to Sonic and Burger King? I don't think they went to Burger King. Okay? I don't think they went to Burger King. But speaking of Prayer Garden, I'm going to go to this real quick because quite a while ago she brought this up. Where's the volume? The hell's going on? The fuck? Hold on.
Because all that shit's gone. It's ridiculous, man. I'm telling you. And then somebody's supposed to, supposed to be like, right? No. No, not at all. Absolutely not. I'm going to tell you something. 2021 fair, they was doing nothing for their daughter, and they was asked to do it. 2022 fair, they done nothing for their daughter. Right? Nothing. Can was off hanging with her fucking girlfriend, Kathy, the friend, which they had a falling out, and Kathy boo-hooed all over it. Right? Kathy had evidence she could have took to Hawkins County and left with Sheriff Ronnie Lawson and...
Okay, this is the truth. Okay? I'm sure Prayer Garden's getting tired of me putting her stuff up, but she's telling the truth. Hanging out with her girlfriend, Kathy. Kathy had stuff she could have taken to Hawkins County. She said she gave it to her police department. Hold on. They're not into clothes collection. What are they going to do with it? Run an errand for her? Hell, she goes to North Carolina to see her damn podiatrist. She can't drive up to Hawkins County and give that box to him? No, she was holding it over Cant's head so Cant would talk to her and come see her. That is what happened, my friends. It's like in high school when you have a boyfriend and you're wearing his jacket and you're like, oh, that motherfucker's going to have to talk to me because I still have his jacket. I still have his jacket. I still have his Trapper Keeper in my locker. Okay? Y'all remember the game? Y'all remember? So she knows that this has to do with the case of Summer Wells, but she held it over Cant's head. Why did Candace not want that stuff to go to Hawkins County? Why did Candace not want that stuff to go to TBI? Why?
Right? Kathy had evidence she could have took to Hawkins County and left with Sheriff Ronnie Lawson and Pruitt, but she didn't. A whole box of Summer stuff, things she was wearing that day, but she didn't. Why? Because she wasn't caring about Summer. She was caring about fucking her and Can. This bitch was in love with Can. Something mentally right in Kathy the friend's head, right? Something is not mentally right in that fucking woman's head. She's a freak. She's a freak. Obviously, she likes to smell fucking nastiness. She obviously fucking butt odor turns her on. Right? It's a new kind of cologne. It's called Can. Put some shit in a fucking jar and rub it under your fucking ears. And people like Kathy the friend will love you.
Truth. Pat K, thank you so much for the super sticker. Diana, thank you. Thank you for gifting 20 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Imagine bottling that up. bottling that up. Woo, woo. Good morning, Karen. You don't have to be in the bushes. Yep. Ooh. Jam said Kathy does love fish. Ooh, baby, y'all are on fire today. My goodness. Obviously something was going on because they spent that whole summer out camping, kayaking, doing all the fun stuff in the woods, even though Candace doesn't go in the woods. I'm telling you what, if Prayer Garden ever wrote like a book of poetry, I would buy it and I would promote it. I would put that in her ear. All right, let's get to Hunter, because I think this is the reason that he wasn't as forthcoming. I can't say with the police because they haven't said anything to me. They do not talk to me. They do not tell me what they know. The last thing we ever heard from the police is on Twitter before it became X, when Leslie said they can't rule out foul play. And then after that, when Josh Melton said, we've ruled out wandering off and we've ruled out abduction. So what does that leave? Now, I'm going to say this right now. Hunter, I do not believe has anything to do with Summer's disappearance. I do find it extremely odd that your daughter is missing and talking about Can't, and Can't calls Marlena. Okay? Around 4:30 in the afternoon. After that, she calls Hunter wanting to get a hold of Allie. Now listen, what did you expect these people to do? They're nowhere around you. How do you have time to make phone calls to these people when you should be looking for your daughter? And then at 6:30, roughly, Can't finally calls 911. I believe the call was made by Dawn. But obviously, Can't has been inappropriate with underage, I'm going to say people, not going to call one out. It has been said by Jose, by Jenna, by Kathy. It has been said by, well, it was reported to CPS by Andrew. And shame on CPS in Tennessee for not taking care of it. Okay? Shame on them. It was said, did I already mention Marlena? Okay, Marlena, Jose. Listen, anyone that knows them will say this. Now remember, Jenna became friends with Can't after. And she said this on Ziggy's channel.
Missing with Candace, right?
Yes, correct.
And so is that friendship just burned now? Like, is that
It's gone.
Did she contact you?
She contacted me after that. I sent the screenshots to Ziggy. She told me not to tell nobody that grandma was back, and she sent me the screenshot. She sent me a message saying that I lied to her, that I'm not her friend, which my whole intentions from the beginning was to find Summer.
Yeah, okay, I understand that.
And she, I'm friends with her on all of her Facebook accounts.
How many? So
she has like 3 or 4 of them.
That's weird.
So I messaged her on another one, and she sent something back to me, said, you told everybody about our conversations. So I just basically just went off.
Does she have new teeth?
Yeah, she has new teeth.
How did she get those?
She told me Dr. Phil paid for it. It was $10,000 to get paid done.
Wow.
Yeah, and look what she did. She was told not to smoke after getting all those damn teeth pulled and getting her dentures put in, and that's what she did, and then she got that damn gum infection. What part of don't smoke until after you heal for your free chompers did she not understand? That's the reason when people get free shit, they tear it up. I don't care if it's a crowbar. I really don't. If it's free, they're going to mess it up. They don't appreciate it. Didn't even appreciate her damn teeth. It's bad enough to think 6 children that we know of, because I'm on the fence if this child was actually born in Arkansas. Doesn't make sense to me. But hey, wasn't there. 6 children that we know of, she's ruined. Okay? If you, as a parent, I'm not going to call out mom, dad. I'm not doing that. As a parent, if you fail one, you're a shit hook. Okay? You are. But 6? 6. 2 from the state of Wisconsin. 3 taken by Tennessee Child Protective Services. And of course, Summer's missing. And you have TBI that cannot rule out foul play. Now, what really makes me scratch my head is these are innocent children. These are innocent children. And people are still taking up for Dawn and Candace. Hell, Can't went live. I think they're in Virginia drywalling or something like that. And I was looking through the chat, and I mean, oh, Can't, so glad you're getting out of the house. Oh, Can't, are you and Donnie working? For one, Donnie obviously wasn't well because he was driving down the left side of the damn highway. It was making me dizzy watching it, okay? I'm going to spare you of that right now. Doxy Mom, exactly. Look at Dawn's oldest son. He's an RSO. Hopefully the boys were saved before Daddy Don could show them anything. Doubt it. Doubt it. Doubt it. Real Rock and Robin, yep, they were sent a cash app for breakfast.
Yeah, she has new teeth.
How did she get those?
She told me Dr. Phil paid for it. It was $10,000 to get paid done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are they
And
veneer?
then
Oops, go ahead, Lab.
so
And Josh, I searched all day and I'm not seeing where Dr. Phil pays for teeth.
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, he
They
pays
get per
for
diem in their
rehab and psych hospitals and things like that he's affiliated with.
Yeah.
But they only give you 1 meal a day.
Well, I know.
Okay, I don't know who the genius is here saying Dr. Phil doesn't pay for teeth. Okay. Well, we know Candace didn't. Come on. Come on. Do you need a 4-year-old puzzle? Do you think she showed up at the Dr. Phil show and decided to go to a dentist in Los Angeles and throw down a ton of money to get some new chompers? No. Of course it was paid for by the show. I'm not saying Dr. Phil walked in with her and pulled out his checkbook. No. It's probably promotional for the show. And he would have done anything to get her on the show because he don't believe her.
No, they give you cash, like walking around cash. I don't know how much it is, but they give them per diem when they travel out there. And but I doubt it would be $10,000.
Right.
Now, Hunter. So I'm curious about Hunter and Allie really fast. I just have a couple questions. Was that an inappropriate relationship in your opinion? Did you ever?
Yes, it was.
And was that confirmed to you?
It was by Candace.
Yeah, she told you.
Yes.
What'd she say, Jenna?
All right, I'm going to rewind that. Okay. Josh is asking, was an inappropriate relationship? She goes, yes. Candace told me. Now, let me tell you what, if Candace didn't tell her that, this is a lawsuit and a half, and nothing happened. Okay? Candace and Dawn did nothing about this. You are parents of a missing child. Anybody would have picked up that case and run wild with it, saying, you can't go around saying things like that. And again, I'm not blaming Hunter. Hunter gets a lot of flack and no slack around YouTube. He can't consent. He's a child.
Opinion, did you ever,
Yes, it was.
and was that confirmed to you?
It was by Candace.
She told you.
Yes.
What'd she say, Jenna?
She said that, that they did have a relationship, but it wasn't like a boyfriend and girlfriend. They was just like,
Hooking up?
yeah.
What?
And did Allie know about that? I bet she did.
She did know about it.
Wait, whoa. I
She
thought
didn't
I
say.
asked you about this before. So they were actually messing around?
That's what she told me.
She admitted that to you?
Yes.
Because that's what I was told by that. You remember last month? I was told that they're investigating some kind of inappropriate. Wow.
Yeah, remember we talked about that, Ziggy?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was the shocking info that came out in the info that the lady told me early last month, that
Yeah.
there was some.
Well, the boys actually made a comment about that too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And that's how they found out. That's how they know how CPS knows. And that's why people are like, well, that's
CPS knows. I know for a fact because I was on the phone with Andrew when he reported it. Andrew gets some shit. He does. He sent all of these clips to CPS. Every one of them. And let me tell you what, I was steaming mad when I found out that they weren't going to do anything about it. So here's the problem I'll just say with YouTube. Okay, good morning, Beck. With YouTube. On one hand, you have people screaming, oh, the system failed again. The system failed again. The system failed again. All right. In my opinion, with Hunter, the system did fail. Who got timed out? Hold on. Damn it. I'm in a good mood today. Why is Andrew timed out? He didn't say anything. Okay, 10 seconds. That's fine. Those things happen. Don't worry about it. On one hand, you have people screaming, oh, the system failed. The system failed. Why didn't they take those kids? Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Okay, but then you have how they took the boys from Dawn and Candace. And they're like, well, why did they do that? They're learning to be parents. They're learning to be parents. That's called victim blaming. Now, I know Hunter had already been in trouble. I know that. But the last thing he needed was Candace's influence. It's horrible.
early last month, that there was some.
Well, the boys actually made a comment about that too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And that's how they found out. That's how they know how CPS knows. And that's why people are like, well, the CPS wouldn't be concerned about or wouldn't know anything about a relationship. Well, if the boys were mentioning it, they would.
Yeah.
If they were doing anything inappropriate in front
of them, exactly.
Wow. That's just incredible. Like in a terrible way. Really, I won't take up too much of your time. I just want to come over and ask a couple questions.
No, ask all you want because
I'm not. And I heard I was backstage. He said, "Oh, you're gonna come up and do this. You're gonna come up." And do
No,
that."
you're fine.
I'm not in the business of being a complete jerk. It takes a lot to get there.
Whoa.
What
Hi.
up, Andrew?
Hi. How are you today?
Monday. You know,
It is a Monday, but hey, I was just nosy. I saw your title, and I just come over to be nosy.
well, you can come in anytime. It's a public platform, but it just makes me so mad that I know for a fact, because I was there with you. I mean, not physically, but on the phone. I was
Yeah.
copied on the emails that they basically just ignored what Candace told other people.
Yeah. Not enough information. Lies, dude. There was more than enough.
And I don't know the statute of limitations
I don't either.
in
In all honesty, I didn't think there was any statute of limitations on that sort of thing.
I wouldn't think so. That's why I'm saying I don't want to talk at my ass. Now, for the child neglect and endangerment, which, you know, obviously happened to the boys because they're with CPS,
Mhm.
that's ran. Okay. So they totally missed the mark on that. Okay.
Yeah.
They totally missed the mark on that one. But as far as Hunter, I think he has 7 years from the time he turns 18. I do not expect him to revisit any of this. I really don't. But I mean, he already had some things going on, Andrew.
I agree.
That is known. And the last thing he needed was Candace's influence.
I agree. I mean, the boy, he's rough around the edges, but I mean that happens.
Mhm.
He was a typical teenager, and he still is. You know, I'm not too happy about certain situations right now, but what's done is done. I mean, I don't like the fact that I'm going to be called granddaddy by the end of the year. So, but that's
Yeah.
life.
Looking at this right now, Tennessee Code 39-13-522. I'm being a Google lawyer. He's got 8 years from the time he turned 18.
Yeah.
Real Rock and Robin said reported to CPS or Sullivan County Sheriff's Office. Oh, get this. It was reported to Sullivan County,
Yep.
CPS, and Hawkins County.
Yep. I believe we reported it to everybody we thinking could at the time.
Yep, we did. You damn right. And with what, we know. I mean,
But I mean, there's very few out there that are actually standing behind the fact that Hunter was being played. And it just irritates me.
yeah.
And
Well, that's okay. I mean, there's some people that are going to say, and you know how the internet works, they're going to say, oh, no. Hunter's a thug. Hunter's this. Hunter's that. Okay, so be it, if that's what you want to think. But he
Right.
didn't deserve that.
no. I mean, you wanna sit there and think he's this or that. That's your opinion. But until you know the kid, don't judge him.
No.
I mean, it's just
It makes me wonder, how do they keep getting away with shit?
good answer. Good question. I don't know.
I mean, not that I would ever even think. It would never cross my mind to do anything that they do. Would never cross my mind.
I agree. Like some of the things that are certain people are getting away with we all know shouldn't. It's disgusting and a complete failure of the system.
But
I
like
mean-
I said, on one hand, people are saying, oh, the system failed. The system failed. Well, the system failed Hunter. I can say that.
Not once, but several times, because even before we made that phone call, I was trying to get Hunter to come to me because it was legally my visitation time, and the system still failed there.
Mhm.
And I mean, that was like a death sentence to the kid. His name was already out there to the world before I even attempted to go get the kid.
Well, and may she rest in peace. I'm not disparaging the dead. That is something Allie shouldn't have done.
I agree. But I can honestly say he's doing a lot better than what he was.
I mean, I understand they got some free Dominoes and some Mountain Dew out of it.
Yeah, but I also, didn't know much about that person until this year, and I'm not too happy about it.
About what person?
Dunna.
Who?
Chris McDonough.
Oh, he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, he was getting information out there. It
Right,
just
but I'm
it
saying,
makes you wonder.
past screaming out of the closet. So, I mean, I didn't know he was involved in some really sketchy shit in a different case. But, I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean, 40 years ago, I'm not going to hold it over his head now. I think he's done
No.
really good work for Summer.
I mean, I gotta say he didn't pull out the same old tactics he used back then, so I give him that. He did well. But
Okay, I don't know what's going on in the chat. Let's not fight. We're talking about Hunter and horrible
that's
things
the
that
issue.
happened to him, and we don't need to argue. Okay,
Yeah, there's no.
Yeah.
I mean,
If they were doing,
go ahead. Sorry.
like I said, everybody's allowed their own opinions, but just remember, he's still a kid. Go ahead, push play.
if they were doing, anything inappropriate in front of
In
them,
front of them, exactly.
Wow, that's just incredible. Like in a terrible way. Really, I won't take up too much of your time. I just want to come over and ask a couple questions.
no, ask all you want because
I'm not. And I heard I was backstage. He said, "Oh, is he gonna come up and do this? Is he gonna come up?" And do
No,
that?"
you're fine.
I'm not in the business of being a complete jerk. It takes a lot to get there, and I have nothing against anybody, either one of you on here.
No,
or
Josh,
anyone.
I knew you would never. I knew you would never. I thought maybe Doug would,
Yeah, Doug
don't
might
know,
come over. Doug might come over and no, not I.
especially with Prayer Garden. I was like, when I heard it, she was trying to go over, or that people were saying that she's going on his funeral. I was like, wow, good luck.
Whoa,
Okay, remember Jenna became really good friends with Candace, and she has the screenshots from Candace. Okay. Kelly Harris said he was a child, ... that wasn't given the best options, not just a kid. Exactly. But whose fault was that?
Well, yeah, it's the internet. It's mine.
Again, just like, Marlena, she's over there and she's wanting to get all this sympathy and cash apps and shit like that. I do not know what happened to her daughter on that hill. I do not know what happened to her daughter on that hill. I do know that Grandis took it upon herself to bring that little girl back way before she was supposed to. Marlena has alluded to some things, and it's her story to tell. It's not mine. I can speculate all I want. It's not my story to tell.
It'll be
yeah,
interesting.
but that's totally different because it's just a crock of shit, is what that is. So, and
Josh, if I can just say, I just want to thank you for your letter to Summer.
oh, thank you.
You did an amazing job.
I appreciate that.
Okay, so there's one. All right, Andrew, you probably don't want to hear this one, but
It's all good. I'm gonna hear it either way.
okay. This is your friend Jose.
Spreading the rumors. The day after Candace said Don slept with the girl in her house.
What? That Jose confirmed that I slept with Candace?
That's yeah.
No, I didn't. If you go back on the live stream, I said I slept with Ali.
No. He's Andrew is saying that this person is saying Andrew is saying that Jose confirmed that he slept.
Okay. Kat,
I remember that one.
Kat got the comment of the day. This is so true. And I get so tired of it. You know, like when boys are essayed by their teacher, and you have people going, oh, it's not that big of a deal. We've all been hot for teacher. It is a big deal. But if it's a girl, everyone's up in arms.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is going to remain, and obviously we can't ask Allie, are you in contact with Sherry, your grandbun?
No. The only one I'm in contact with is Hunter.
Okay. The question remains, if they had this huge falling out in October of 2020 over Jose, why was Hunter allowed to go that day? Why was Sherry out eating chicken fingers at the Chili's with Candace?
Like I said, good question. I wouldn't even know. I mean, outside of he was tired of sitting home, and he caught Mama Duke's half asleep. Other than that, I mean, that would be the only logical. Or he probably just said, hey, can I go out for a bit? And she said, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, that could be the logical ones, but I'm not really sure what, if I ain't talking to somebody in almost a year, bro, I ain't letting my kids go with them.
Well, I wouldn't either.
Left with Candace. So it's probably just another lie from Andrew.
Probably. Because I don't get what he benefits from lying. You know, this is Andrew, if you really listening to me, bro, homie, my bro, my nigga, however I can speak to you, bro, New Yorker to New Yorker, bro, that you know me, physically, mentally, emotionally, you know we've been through the dirt together, homie. This is your son. And that bitch took advantage of your son. You should be fucking on the first car, first plane, first bus down there, ready to knock that bitch's whatever teeth she got left in her mouth.
And that wouldn't have done nothing for me.
Who the fuck you think you are to take advantage of my son like that? You know, don't be a proud dad that he slept with an older woman when he preyed on your son. When you knew your son was literally going through the dirt, she took advantage of it. And instead of you being a father that I know you are, the man that I know you are, it's not like I'm talking on my ass, bro. I know you. I know what you're capable of. You know what I'm saying? You should be on a fucking car going all the way down there, ready to knock the teeth out and walls down to find out how the hell this bitch slipped in between your 15-year-old son's pants. And you just over here sitting talking lies about me, when you should be actually asking what the hell was going on in Tennessee while you were up in Gloversville.
By legal law, I really couldn't ask those questions.
Well, and you're talking about kids that aren't fully developed. But I mean, Jose knows a lot. The question is, I can't really say much about Jose because, well, he's no longer with us. Why didn't he call 911?
Concur. But
Okay.
like I said,
I'm not taking up for any parent that didn't do the right thing, but I know that you did try. I know that you tried. Okay.
And I did everything I could by legal court order. And me going out down there just to kick some woman's ass, just to wind up in prison, what would that would have done in the end?
Well, and also you didn't know until after Summer Wells disappeared.
I didn't know much of anything yet until I was told about that. And I'm like, okay. Like, that's a lot to process in a short amount of time.
Well, I mean, let's look at all the people that could have called the police, could have called CPS. Now, according to Jody Sue, I mean, she's our Wonder Woman of the holler. Okay. Yep. She did everything she could, but she can't provide a case number. No. Okay. I know you have a case number because it was given to me and I'm not putting it out here.
Oh yeah, I believe if I remember correctly, actually I do know for a fact because I wound up dumping my email by mistake. You have the only copy of that.
Mhm.
And I do appreciate you keeping it to yourself. That's awesome.
Well, that's the reason I just sent you something in private chat to see if it's okay if I could put it on here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not.
Okay.
I mean, people want to keep calling me a liar and a piece of shit dad saying I didn't do shit. Okay, well, there's proof. I mean,
Okay.
shit.
Well, and this show isn't about saving your reputation, Andrew. No offense. This is about why was Hunter so vague with Chris McDonough and other investigators, and I believe it was fear. Because let's look at June 17th, 2021, when they made the run to AT&T, got the straight talk phones at Walmart. Candace couldn't go in because she's banned. Whole 9 yards, but they made a trip over to Grandbun's house to confront Hunter to ask what he said to TBI. Now he was trying to act all hot shit to Chris McDonough. He's a kid. And he said, "Oh, I'm not scared of her. I'm not scared of her." And that's when the TBI agent said to Allie, for one, when they called back, they wanted to know what Candace was driving. And they reminded her that they were told not to talk to Candace. That is such an important piece of evidence. Yes, I said evidence in this case. Talk to Don all you want. Hell, go to Chili's with him. Go get some riblets at Applebee's. I don't care. Talk to Grandis, not Candace.
Yep.
Because they do not want her manipulating the day any more than she already had.
I agree.
So
She
I
should be in
don't-
jail.
Absolutely. She should be. She should be in jail and prosecuted at the fullest extent of the law. Completely.
Because
I guarantee you, if it was a man to have done what she did with him, we would have been strung by a noose long time ago. We would have been put in prison. We would have had
absolutely.
to get lawyers. But because it's a woman, please, people, if audience, don't take this as a sexist thing, because it's not. Because just as evil men do, women do evil as well. But I'm not being a sexist at all whatsoever, because I'm a father of a daughter, and I love my daughter. I want my daughter to have all the opportunities in this world that a man always gets. I feel that should be equal down the line completely. So I feel that if we're going to get persecuted and prosecuted to the fullest extent, being a grown man, it should be done to a grown woman as well, because it's not right.
Yes.
All right. And I agree with Jose. What you do to a grown man for what he does to underage girls or boys should be done to a woman as well.
I mean, I'm not gonna front. I ran into my fair share of females that I later on found out was on the registry for some shady shit with an underage, and that surprised the shit out of me because usually females don't get nicked with that.
Disgusting.
I agree. I agree. That
It's truly gut wrenching.
how
you know?
how old would have Hunter? How old is Hunter now? He's 15 or 16 now.
16.
So he would have been 14 at the time, right?
14, exactly.
Oh my God.
Think about this. You at 14 years old, it's going to get graphic. Your pubic hairs are coming out. You're starting to realize that girls turn you on. You just look at boobies and you get a hard on. Come on now. I'm a man. You are a man, Justin. We're men. It's part of our physiology.
Well, it's not.
That's my end. Give me 1 second. Sorry.
Okay. Andrew has to take a call. Now, Jose is trying to explain puberty to Justin. Justin, don't swing like that. Okay. Justin's not going to get a boner from seeing boobies. Okay. Don't think you're going to turn on Baywatch and Justin's going to get excited by watching the girls run down the beach. And I love Justin. Okay. He don't get down like that.
And realize that girls turn you on. You just look at boobies and you get a hard on. Come on now. I'm a man. You are a man, Justin. We're men. It's part of our physiology.
Well, it's not part of mine, but
but you understand what I mean. And with the way how they, basically demonizing sex.
Hold on, Harley, what are you talking about? I'm not arguing anymore. He's not a victim. How is Hunter not a victim? Okay? Listen, I'm not saying he's a salt of the earth person. I'm not saying he is just the best dude in the world, but you don't mess with a 14-year-old boy. You don't. I don't care who you are. Harley, I don't know how old you are. Obviously, you're an adult. I would call you a victim. Damn right I would, if Candace was coming on to you. So quit that shit or find another chat to go to.
Sexuality the way they are on TV and everything. Oh, yeah, it's okay. And this is all right. And in fact, when I grew up, you couldn't even hear the word shit on TV. Now you hear it all the time.
Yeah.
You couldn't see a woman halfway naked on TV when I grew up, and now it's just publicized everywhere. This is society is literally turning what's bad into good and what's good into bad. So the lines have been blurred. Critical thinking has been thrown completely out of the window. Like, whatever happened to critical thinking? Like, whatever happened to questioning everything? A stupid question is the question not asked, whatever happened to that? And it's completely gone. Everyone forgot about that, and it's due to social media and TV and saying this is okay. When we were growing up, it wasn't. It was looked down upon, frowned upon, the families would turn their backs on you if we was to do what the kids are doing now, It's what I don't understand about Andrew. Like, he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy. He's a man who definitely will fight for his children, and he will fight tooth and nail. He will give his life.
And there it is, Eileen. Hunter was abused by Candace. Who knows who else? Well, besides 6 children that we know of, maybe a 7th. Okay?
Hey, hon, I hate to do this, but I got to let you go. My mom's on her way.
Okay. All right. Say hi to your mom. Bye. 14? And you've got the Loch Ness Monster on you? No, thank you. Hell no.
Last breath to his children. This is Andrew. This is the Andrew I know. He will give his last dying breath to his children. Then he should be doing it for Hunter right now. He should be going ape shit on that phone, calling them, wondering who the hell this woman thinks she is. Ali should be fuming right now. She should be irate right now, knowing that happened. When she didn't know crap at all whatsoever, just in the blind about it. And I'm there holding this.
Harley said, see you. Bye. B-U-Y. What you buying? Never be back here again. Sorry for you. And if I knew who you really were, I'd be calling your local child protective services, tell them that you're okay with child R. Bye. Bye.
Dirty little secret. It's like I said, I feel horrible for not saying anything, but I'm not going to stand by and not say nothing anymore, especially that I know that I'm mentally stable again, and I'm coherent on what I'm speaking about, and I know what I'm talking about. You know, that's why I said, yeah, we could do this live. I'm talking on the phone. I could take whatever the world's going to give me now because I'm enlightened. I'm enlightened in a different way. You know, so you can keep knocking me because I'm one of them men. The more you drop me, the more it's going to make me persistent to get back up.
Yeah. Exactly. Allie has since said that Hunter is not the same child since Summer has went missing.
It's not. That
and
was his pride and joy.
well, and that
That
he
was his baby sister.
well, I know, yes, exactly. And he said he treated her like a little sister, but
Absolutely.
he got in trouble. He has gotten in trouble allegedly again and has had some like juvenile hall type thing or something.
Yeah, because
And
he's losing it.
yeah,
He's
you know, I
literally
mean,
losing it.
think about it. He was a 14-year-old boy allegedly doing this allegedly with Candace,
Mhm.
and
Of course, that's
and
mental
then
scarring on a
Summer
level that a
goes
lot of us
missing.
don't understand. You would have to be, in order for you to understand where Hunter's level is at, you would have to be a victim. You literally would. Because most people that have understanding, you know, you could be a doctor, but even doctors and therapists see doctors for their cases as well, because they can't grasp the certain things that they're listening to that happen to them. So in order for you to understand where Hunter is coming from, you have to be a person who actually experienced what he'd been through.
Mhm.
And just leaving it out there, I know what he means, because I am a victim as well. So I know what he feels. I know what he's going through. It's not something that's easy to overcome. This is going to be the longest uphill battle of his life, you know. And right now, he needs people that love him and care him to be there for him. Don't judge him. Don't look down on him. Don't tell him, oh, that was wrong. You should have said something. Because even as a teenager at that age, you're afraid. You're not invincible. You don't reach that invincible stage until you're a full-blown senior in high school, junior. You know, at the time that happened to him, he was in middle school.
Yes.
He's still getting to know himself, you know? So he's within conflict within himself right now. And instead of people bashing him and looking down upon him, they should actually grieve for him and pray for him, you know, because he didn't do nothing wrong. He knows no better. You know, we as adults, we know better because we've had the experience. He hasn't. He's just going through it right now. And him going through whatever he's going through now, it doesn't pass you. He's just lashing out at the world because in his mind, he feels he should have did something. He could have did more.
My girl Holly's in chat. Common Sense True Crime. She said the more people just talk, the less credible they are. That is true. Especially when they throw out their damn Cash App. They call me Big Dog. Said, I think Hunter was getting in trouble already before Summer went missing. Yes, he was. That's why he went to juvie. He didn't need any help getting in trouble. The Summer Wells just got entwined with what he was. Could be true. That could definitely be true. But Candace had no business, none, being inappropriate with him. Okay? None. If Candace was a good person, she could have been like, all right, I'm going to take him under my wing. Instead of him getting in trouble, I've got lawn mowing for him to do. I've got weed eating for him to do. I've got tons of stuff to keep him busy so he doesn't get in trouble. But instead, she, according to Jenna, according to Jose, she was inappropriate.
you know, and that's weighing heavy on him right now.
Yeah.
And he's not like we are, that we can have broad shoulders and hold that kind of weight and figure out a way to push on. In
Yes.
his mind, the world is against him, and he's alone. He may have his mom, but he's alone.
Yes.
And, you know, everyone's attacking him. You shouldn't attack him. He has nothing, no bone in this at all. The fault falls within the adult, not the child. He
Yeah.
didn't ask for it. He was persuaded and manipulated to do it.
Mhm.
And that's what people got to realize.
So for those of you that haven't been here the full almost 4 hours, a lot of questions like Jason Landed says, Justice for All, can you ask Jose if he knew who owns the red truck and the ladder rack that he drove? Jose has actually already answered a lot of these questions, and he didn't know who owned it, but he thought that possibly one of his bosses owned it because he would only take that truck only on really long drives when he was working far away.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't know about the red truck because it actually made my face fall off when I found out that the red truck tip was called in by Dawn. Remember, I was inflamed every time I saw Robin with a missing child flyer. And she would say, the red truck doesn't matter, red truck doesn't matter, red truck doesn't matter. And I thought, why is she doing that? Why? A lot of people speculated, opinion only, it's because she drives a red truck. You know, hers is a lot nicer than what Dawn described. Okay? A lot nicer. But when it came out that Dawn's the one that turned that tip in, I'm like, yeah. Since she never trusted the Wells in the first place, which is such crazy to even think about. You know, because she's been around them a lot. She's taken up for them a lot, you know, and maybe that's her faith. Maybe that's her Christianity. I don't know. All right, with permission, I'm going to share this. This is when Andrew called CPS about Hunter. Now, remember, Hunter was under 18 at the time. And you heard Andrew say it was fine to share this.
Do you have a phone number for Allison? No, I do not. I haven't had one in almost a year.
How do you contact her, Andrew?
Facebook.
Okay.
Do you know what school Hunter's in? With the group home he's with, he's actually just graduated, so right now he's not really in school. Okay, so. Does Hunter have any special needs or diagnoses that you're aware of? Not that I'm aware of, but I do know he has anger management issues, but that one's deep. And at this time, I'd like to get into the reason for your call. Please keep in mind that I'm typing while you're speaking, so I might interrupt you, and it's not to be rude. It'll be to ask you to pause or slow down, and that's just so that I can catch up and I don't miss any important information. Or whenever you're ready, sir, you can go ahead and begin. My call is about Candace Wells giving my son alcohol, vapes, and there is high speculation that she has taken advantage of my son in an adult manner. What does that mean? She, from my understanding, is she slept with him. Had adult relations with my son. I really don't know how to place that properly. I mean, did she have sexual intercourse with him? Yes, from what I've seen and was told, yes. That they had sex. Well, I've seen inappropriate conversations between them on his old Facebook
in comment sections. A man that is no longer with us has stated that he was an eyewitness to said interactions, but he passed away before I got the information to be able to do anything. So,
Okay, so what is the name of the person that told you he witnessed it?
Jose Roman. And he is currently no longer amongst the living.
And he said it on
And how does he know? Okay, I can only have one person talking at a time.
Sorry.
Andrew, how does he know Hunter, Jose Roman?
He was a friend of mine, and then he moved down there when we tried to, and he stayed down there. And while he was, and he also stayed at the Wells house during that period he was there.
And he said that he witnessed Candace have sex with Hunter?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did he say this occurred?
Around September, August of 2020, and it's just reaching my ear now, and it's very hard to get through a lot of different rules because obviously I'm in a different state, so yeah, it takes me a while to get the right people. And I did make a report on this a while back in 21 as well.
To DCS or the police?
DC. I got in contact with the police, and they said to make a DCS report, and I did. I just lost the verification number because they emailed it to me, and that computer crashed, and I haven't been able to find it since. And that was
Hunter said that he's had sex with Candace?
Well, not bluntly. He has. He says it as any typical teenager does, like nonchalant, cryptic bullcrap.
Okay, so what has he said?
He said that because I seen the stuff on it and I was joking around with him, and I told him you better not make me a granddaddy before I'm 40. And he goes, well, I already lost my V card to one of Mom's friends, and I'm like, huh? And then he goes, yeah, my girlfriend, and that time he had a girlfriend, so I was like, okay, so I just chalked it up as teenagers being teenagers. Such as his girlfriend's a teenager, he is too, so I figured, okay, they're teenagers, they're gonna do stupid shit, so. I didn't realize that it was the length of an adult until currently.
Okay, so he told you that he lost his V card to one of his mom's friends.
Yeah.
And then clarified it was his girlfriend. Like he didn't name the person?
At the time I knew he was dating another child of his age, and I just chalked it up as he was just messing with my head. Because they're teenagers, and what they do.
But he didn't say who he lost his virginity to, correct?
No. He didn't directly say who it was, and it took me a while to even get that.
Okay, Screaming Inside said, talking about H on the internet isn't helping him. I agree. So who should I help? Who should I help? Should I help Candace Wells? Yeah, I'm saying her name. Should I help her and keep all this secret? Should I keep it secret that CPS has all this information? That they have talked to, they know about Jenna, they know about Jose, they've talked to all these people. So who should we protect? I personally don't want to protect the victimizer. I don't want to protect someone that has been found guilty of child abuse 6 times. Well, I have to say, 5 times. 2 kids in Wisconsin, 3 in Tennessee. Hunter needs support, and he needs to have the strength to press his own charges. We don't need CPS anymore because he's over 18. Don't need him. Okay? Don't need him. They weren't very quick on the draw when it came to Summer. As we know, she's missing. Okay? But at this point, with him being an adult, the police can step in.
messages or anything between him and Candace, and a lot of things that were on there, no adult should ever say to a child anyway.
Okay, but just to clarify, he did not name the person. He just said
No,
it
he
was
didn't.
among friends, and then he said it was his girlfriend, but he never
Yeah.
put a name to that person.
No, and then I did research, and he did state that he was in a relationship and never posted with who. And yeah, there was a bunch of negative, disgusting comments from Candace underneath that post, but I don't think I can actually get access back to that.
Okay, who is Candace?
Candace is
Okay, we'll come back to that. He did get access to the post because it got emailed to them. Holly said, what do you think are the chances Hunter will press charges on Camp Camp? At this point, slim to none, because as you can see in these chats, people are blaming him for what happened to him. True story, they are. He's a thug. He's not a victim. As a teenager, he could have said no. That's the truth. Slim to none. He's ashamed. He's ashamed. And I mean, there's no financial profit for Hunter, but it would open up a whole new can of worms for the case of Summer Wells. It would. And if he loves Summer like a little sister, the way he says, he's going to have to put his pride aside and do this. Screaming inside, I'm talking about Jose, talking about how Hunter feels. Oh, I agree with you. Yeah, I just kind of, that went in one ear and out the other. No, you're exactly right. I'm sorry, I misunderstood your comment.
was Allison's friend. It is Candace Wells.
And she's a suspect in the disappearance of her daughter, Summer Wells, out of Hawkins
Yes.
County.
And
Okay,
one
so are you calling about that, or are we calling about the concerns with Hunter?
concerns with Hunter. I'm not calling about the
Okay,
Summer
so
Wells
we're
thing.
gonna stick with the concerns with Hunter.
Definitely.
Candace, is that CANDA?
Okay, so you see how CPS works, all right? They are social workers. This is just someone taking information. They already knew about Summer Wells. And she skipped right over that. Okay, we're not going to talk about Summer Wells because I have a feeling that is a name that rings a lot in their ears. Now, one thing, I was looking up Clyda Trent because remember, Dawn spoke to her and said CPS was coming back. He said on the 16th. I have a feeling they were coming back on the 15th. And breaking news, Dawn lied. Okay, so there was something in another Facebook group where somebody was asking about Clyda Trent. Well, good old Lisa K. Ruitz said this. Hold on, let me find it because I screenshotted it because, you know, I'm a real damn investigator. Deep dive. Did a deep dive. You all know how it goes. I did a deep dive. Where did it go? Come on, bitch. Where'd it go? Come on. Let's see. Screenshots. There we go. Here we go. Okay, I got to get rid of that. I don't need that phone number. I already posted that. Son of a bitch. Okay, let's see. She said, dead end on Clyda, yes. Why is it a dead end? She spoke to Dawn about CPS coming back. That's not a dead end.
CE?
DACUS, I believe. Candace. I don't know how to spell her name.
CANDUS, Bly, BLY, Wells, WELLS. He's tried to call this into the police several times, and they said you have to deal with CPS in Tennessee.
Yep.
And the reason I know that is because I was on the phone when Sullivan County was called. I was on the phone when Hawkins County was called. Kelly Harris said, I definitely do not blame Hunter. He was most definitely used and taken advantage of, in my opinion. But he's not a typical 14-year-old when all of this took place. He had already been exposed to way too much. You are exactly right. And again, whose fault is that? Yeah, damn old Lisa K. Ruitz. LKR. LKR. I better say it that way.
Do we have a date of birth and estimated age on Candace?
I don't.
She's 40.
Do we have an address for Candace?
110.
Ben Hill Road.
Okay, I can only have one person speaking at a time.
Sorry.
Since Andrew is making this report, if Andrew can be the one speaking, that way I can actually hear.
It's 110 Ben Hill Road.
What city is that in?
Not a clue. I know it's in Hawkins County.
Do we have a phone number for Candace?
No, we do not.
And Jose Roman, you said that he's deceased, that he was a part of the family, correct?
Yes, he was a.
You said that Candace gave Hunter alcohol and vapes. When did this occur?
The same. That would be throughout the period of the summer of 2020 to June 15th of 2021.
Okay, you said the summer of 2022 to
No, the summer of 2020 through June 15th of 2021. So yeah, I'd say from June 2020 through June 2021.
And how did we know that she was providing him with alcohol and vapes?
My son plain up told me. We were sitting there playing video games one night, and he straight up told me he was getting alcohol and vapes from Candace.
Did he say why he was getting alcohol and vapes?
He said he would ask and she'd get.
Was Candace in a caregiver role at the time, or
No. Just a mama friend.
okay? But was he over at her home? And
Yeah, he was at her home. Yeah, he was.
or was he at her? Where did this occur?
He would be at her house when she'd give him the alcohol and vapes. Yes, sorry.
And where would his mom be?
Working or at her house.
At whose house? At her own house or at Candace's?
Yeah, at her own house. I was going to be at home at her house. Yes, sorry.
And the type of vape that she was providing, was this a nicotine vape? Was this a different type of vape?
I never knew exactly what kind of vapes they were.
On Chris McDonough's show, she said it was a grape vape.
Grape. All right. Thank you. Grape vape, apparently. Oh, this one means that's burying herself everywhere.
Okay, but I don't know what a grape vape is. Is that nicotine? Is that marijuana? Do we not know?
No, there's nicotine in it.
Nicotine grape. Oh my God, those are gross.
Who is Chris McDonough?
He is a YouTuber / ex-detective, I guess. I am not sure.
He's a retired detective that spoke with Hunter and Allie when Hunter admitted all this. He has a channel called The Interview Room.
Yeah. Thank you. I totally spaced on that one.
Okay, so was this information told to you by Hunter, or is this something that you...
I think we can see part of the problem why this case is not solved. Our old buddy Andrew is not exactly good with the English language. He doesn't know shit, can't remember shit, but by God, he wants things done. And Andrew, I know you're listening. It's okay. But this is so damn frustrating. I spent a good afternoon on this and they did nothing. Nothing.
You saw online.
No, this was told by Hunter in privacy of private phone calls between a dad and son type deal.
Okay, so what does Chris McDonald's YouTube video have anything to do with this?
It basically just verifies it. I don't have a freaking clue at this moment. All I know is that there's a lot of things that were said on it. I have not thoroughly watched it to pay attention enough to what's being said.
Okay, so what you're reporting doesn't have anything to do with what was said on that show? No. A conversation that you had with your son?
Yep. Nothing to do with anything that had to do with YouTube or anything at all. Just conversations my son and I had while playing video games. The only time I could actually, get him to talk without his mother being around.
When did Hunter admit this to you?
He said he admitted it to me. Let's see. What was it? July. It was the end of June of 2021, and I made a report then. And just like I said, I didn't hear nothing back, and then I recently got the information that Miss Candace was.
You've made a report on all of this before?
Yeah, I made a report on the speculation that she was doing adult things with Hunter. Never had a verification until recently.
You made a report.
Yes.
You made a report on. Did you make a report on her providing alcohol and vapes to Hunter after he admitted to you in June of 2021?
Yes.
So everything that you just said, you already reported in the past, correct?
Yep. All but the allegations of her not claiming of her doing adult things. Sorry, I have little ones of my own.
Okay, but I have that you said that you made a report about that with DC Police in 2021.
Yep, and I didn't hear anything back from that one, and I just don't know where the number that you guys provided for the case is at the moment. I mean, I haven't been able to find it since my computer crashed.
Okay. Are there any new concerns for Hunter or anything currently going on that are concerns for abuse or neglect for Hunter?
At this moment, as he's in the system, he's safe and sound. But my biggest concern is, like I said, the factor is that the child abuse, the adult monkeying around with my son is actually the biggest concern I have, because the more and more days go on, the more and more that it's less time for me to do anything. And I have spoke to his mother numerous times, and she refuses for some ungodly reason to report anything she has seen personally. And that draws another big red flag, because I mentioned something about it to her the other day, and she just blows it off.
Does she say why she won't report it?
No, she didn't. She just said, yeah, well, she just blows it off and, changes the subject. She does not. I honestly think she really doesn't care either way.
Okay, but there are no new current concerns for Hunter. Does Hunter have any contact with Candace currently?
Not that I know of. And I think his contact list is very small. People who can contact him while he is where he is.
Okay. I'm going to read back what I have to ensure for accuracy. If you hear anything that I've gotten wrong, feel free to interrupt me and let me know, okay? All right, I have Candace Wells gave Hunter alcohol and vapes. This occurred throughout the summer of 2020 to June 15th, 2021. Hunter admitted this information to Andrew while playing video games in June of 2021. Hunter stated he would ask Candace for the dates and alcohol, and she would get them. Hunter would be at Candace's home when this occurred, and Allison would either be at her own home or at work at the time. Candace was in a caregiver role with Hunter at the time. It's unknown what kind of dates were provided, whether they were nicotine or THC. Reportedly on the Chris McDonough's YouTube show, The Interview Room, it was stated the vape was great. A report was made on this information in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And that was by you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then I have there is high speculation that Candace has been taking advantage of Hunter in an adult manner by sleeping with him. Candace reportedly had sexual intercourse with Hunter. This is based on seeing inappropriate comments on social media. Jose Roman, a friend of the family who is deceased, stated he witnessed Candace having sex with Hunter. When did he say this?
I'd have to say, oh gee, I don't even know. I say, well, he passed away last year in June, so I'd have to say April. And I'm just hearing about it now.
2022?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you something that was real scary. Okay. Andrew got a call from CPS, obviously in Tennessee, and they have the clip of Jose talking. Okay. They have the clip of Jenna talking. I don't know if they reached out to Jenna. They didn't go into that, but they said they will take the word of a dead man over Candace Bly Wells. But where are we now? A lot could happen in Summer Wells' case. I'm not saying Hunter isn't important and what happened to him isn't important. I'm not saying that at all. A lot could happen in Summer's case if this moves forward.
Yes, and I'm just hearing about this now because the family has been really quiet about a lot of things. So,
Okay. Jose stated this occurred around August or September of 2020. Hunter has not disclosed having sex with Candace. Andrew joked with Hunter about not being a grandfather before 40, and Hunter stated he lost his B card to one of his mom's friends, and then clarified it was his girlfriend. At the time, Hunter was dating another child his age. Do we know that person's name?
no, I don't.
Hunter did not name the person he lost his virginity to. A report was made with DCS and the police on this in 2021. And that was by you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Allison was spoken with on numerous occasions, and she refuses to report anything that she has seen personally. Allison just blows it off and won't say why she doesn't want to make a report. There are no hidden concerns for abuse or neglect with Hunter. Hunter is in DCS custody and is safe and sound. Hunter has no current contact with Candace. Is that accurate?
Yep.
I'm going to go through our standard questions that we ask on all reports. If you don't know, that's perfectly fine. You could say unknown. Does Hunter have any injuries from abuse or neglect?
Not unknown.
Alright, and Hunter made the disclosure to Andrew, and you said that was in June of 2021. Is there any domestic violence in the home that Hunter is currently residing in that would pose a danger to him?
No.
Would the child be safe for the next 24 hours to 3 business days?
From what I
Sorry, you
understand,
got a little too.
yeah, she should be perfectly fine. From what I understand, you guys, well, children are in your stage care. You guys take care of the children very well, so most definitely.
And we're not going to know if there are any weapons or vicious animals in the home that he's currently in, correct? Because we don't know where he's located.
No, there shouldn't be. I mean, it's one of your guys' facilities, so yeah, there really shouldn't be any of that lying around.
And I know it's been a little while since you've made a report, but are you familiar with what happens next? Do you remember what happens next with your report?
Not really.
Okay. And from here, your report will go through a screening process, and that'll be to determine if this is something that DCF can legally get involved in. If it is, it'll go to the local county, and they have anywhere from immediately up to 3 business days to respond. Okay. Since you provided your email address at the beginning of the report.
Now, not that Andrew would know, but where he messed up with this phone call, is he in any danger in the next 24 hours? And saying unknown, just say, I don't know. You better check on this now. They're saying 3 business days to hear back. Okay, so that's when we got all these clips and everything together. Send them to CPS. I still have the emails, not giving out anyone's email address. That would not be right. Wouldn't be prudent. 3 business days. And when they got back with Andrew, they said, we'll take a dead man's word over Candace Wells any day. But poof, done, over. Demographics matter when it comes to child protective services. I'm telling you right now. You got some abuse in the holler, they don't really care. They just don't really care. Hell, it took Summer Wells going missing for them to take the 3 boys.
Once your report that you've made with me goes through the screening process after we get off the phone, you're going to get an email with a link to our website where you'll be able to check the status of your report. So it won't give you any investigation details or anything like that. All it's going to tell you is if it met criteria of what county it's entry and how you can reach them. And if it doesn't meet criteria, it will tell you why it doesn't under Tennessee law. Okay? I can't tell you exactly when you're going to get that email. I would safely say probably within the next 2 hours, you should be able to see that email in your inbox. Okay. And then I have your intake ID number. That's your report number, and you'll need this number in order to track your report. So whenever you're ready to write it down, you just...
Give me one moment. I actually have to find a piece of paper now.
Sure.
I just had a stack of paper. Where did I put it? Sorry, I was in the midst of cleaning my home for the day.
Oh, you're perfectly fine.
Can I ask you something, ma'am? While he's getting his paper?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, he's called Sullivan County and Hawkins County, and they said this has to be handled by your office. I mean, this is very serious.
Okay, so my office doesn't do any investigation. What we do here is take all of the reports of abuse or neglect for the state of Tennessee. And then if it meets criteria, it goes to the local county that is legally responsible for investigating. So I'm not sure if you misunderstood what they were saying or if they maybe didn't explain it the best. But when you want to make a report of abuse or neglect for any child in the state of Tennessee, you do have to call this hotline because we take all of the reports. But after we put them through the screening process, it goes to the proper investigating agency if it meets the...
That is so messed up. I can't stand the way things have been turned upside down. So if you have a report of abuse or neglect, you have to call us and we'll go through it. And if we find it appropriate, then we'll call the police. Whatever happened just to filing a damn police report?
Criteria of abuse or neglect. Okay, I'm ready for that number, honey. All right, it is 144 579 1184. 1184. Yep, that's your number. Are there any other questions? Did I answer that question for you, ma'am?
Well, what is the criteria exactly? Because, I mean, when an adult has sex with a child and, you know, buys them alcohol and vapes, what is the criteria?
So there are legal definitions of abuse or neglect in the state of Tennessee that's decided by legislation and through the laws, whether it be federal or state. You can certainly go to Tennessee.gov and look at the outline of what the laws are. And you could look up the code if you'd like to look it up in Tennessee code annotations for the definitions of words and what those actually look like. But what we do here is we put it through that screening process up against the legal definitions and the codes to see if what has been reported specifically meets that criteria. Okay. There are some things that meet the criteria for abuse and neglect. There are some things that don't meet the criteria. There are some things that meet the criteria to go to law enforcement but don't meet the criteria to go to DCS. It's really hard to get into the weeds of that because there's specialized training, obviously, to make that determination, which is why we put it through a screening process. The laws are readily available online if you'd like to look at them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can look those up. I just want to know, I mean, you can get to you can put it in a nutshell. Is it in the criteria if you provide alcohol to a child?
Yeah, I mean, even up here in New York, it still has to be properly investigated.
Okay.
Or having sex with a minor.
Okay, so sexual abuse does fall under the definition of abuse of a child. There's criteria to determine what county it goes to and what investigation agency is the lead, whether that is DCS or whether that is law enforcement. That's based on the person's relationship to the child. Okay. There's no report that we get here that we don't do anything with. We put every report through a screening process to determine who it needs to go to and what the appropriate outcome for the report is as far as getting it investigated. It's not to sit here at this hotline and not have anything done with it. Andrew, you'll receive that email. Once we get off the phone, I would say within 2 hours after that, you'll receive that email that will let you know. If it didn't meet criteria for abuse or neglect, it will tell you why it didn't under Tennessee law.
Well, now I had to call CPS in Memphis, and the next day, a CPS social worker. Is that what you're called? I mean,
I am a DCS hotline employee.
Okay, all right.
I'm not a field staff that does investigation. I take the reports of abuse or neglect here at the hotline.
Okay. And they called me back the next day and they had already arrested the mother.
And I can't speak to that investigation or anything that will or will not happen with this report. I can't tell you exactly what will be done during the investigation because I'm not the one doing the investigation. So if it goes to a local county, Andrew will have that information and he will have a contact number to follow up with the person who has the open case. Definitely. I can't speak to arrests being made or anything like that. That's not something I do. I don't do the investigation. I don't work for the police department. I don't Work with the DA's office. I don't work for any of those people.
Basically, you're the one that gets the reports, and you have to fill out all the information from the person, and then send it to the proper channel so it.
All right, so you get the gist of how this went down. Okay? Passing the buck. You're exactly right, oh waitress. Kat said, the DCS hotline employee responsible for deciding what child matters. If I had received that call, I would have shit and fell back in it. And Hunter, who is hungry for money, doesn't realize he's got a big lawsuit on his hands because this has been reported. It's been reported. And it was ignored. Well, we're going to speak more about this on Wednesday, about how maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday. I got a lot of stuff to put together about how this was failed insanely. I mean, insanely failed. Sal Lady goes, WTF, she needs another job. Yeah. You're right, baby. You are right. You know? And I mean, Andrew could file a lawsuit. He's the only surviving parent of Hunters. He certainly could. I mean, hell, if Crystal Sorey can do it in the case of Harmony Montgomery, and we know what an epic failure she is, Andrew damn can too. Whew, it's scary. It is scary. Well, I want to say thank you to all of you for being here. Thank you, Pat K, for the super sticker. Thank you, Diana, for gifting all those Crime Lines and Lies memberships. And, you know, there's a lot of riffraff, a lot of speculation, a lot of opinions out there, especially on YouTube. But y'all are smart. You can discern from what's drama, what's crama, and what is really related to a case. This is very much related to Summer Wells' case because there was an escalation of abuse going on. An escalation. Holly, my girl, what you doing? Thank you for the super sticker. Damn, y'all are making me blush. Walking Dead, thank you for being here. I understand you're new. And don't give up on Summer Wells. The truth is out there somewhere. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'm going to keep working on the Summer Wells case, even though everything seems like a dead end and people make fun of me going, they're never going to find her. They're never going to find her. They're never going to find her. She deserves it. Okay? She deserves it. She deserves dignity, respect, and justice. You guys are the absolute best. Love you to death. And you have a great rest of your Monday.